Hi there, Mike McArthur from the Oshkosh Public Library, here with some more stories from Oshkosh's past as this librarian learns. This is the series where I take a look at something I've wondered about in Oshkosh's history or someone has asked me about while I've been working at the library. So, without a doubt, definitely the most mourned loss of a public structure in Oshkosh is, without doubt, the Athern Hotel. But if there was a second most mourned lost building, it would definitely be KFC. But if there was a third most mourned loss to the community, it would have to be the Pioneer Inn. The Pioneer Inn was a resort hotel marina that was established in the mid-1960s off of Weeds Point. The hotel resort sat on a 15-acre man-made island named Kini Island. It took over 250,000 cubic feet of materials and rubble to build this island. Ironically, a good chunk of it came from the recently demolished Athern Hotel. The property was developed by the Chicago Northwestern Railway and the owners of the Abbey, a luxury resort hotel in Lake Geneva, which, by the way, is still there. The project broke ground October 28, 1964. The dedication ceremony was held on November 19, 1965, and was attended by then Wisconsin Governor Warren Knowles. Upon its opening, it opened with 150 guest rooms, mostly with a kind of pioneer theme. It also had numerous luxury suites, including the Captain's Suite, the Governor's Suite, and the Senator's Seat. Had multiple ballrooms and dining facilities, could seat up to about 800 people for dinner or meals. The hotel spared no expense when it came to food. Assortment of fancy items that are kind of shocking that they were serving in Oshkosh in the mid-60s, including weekly, daily specials from a variety of foreign exotic foods. At least in Oshkosh at the time, these were quite exotic. The adjacent marina had slips for about 250 boats and was enclosed by man-made breakwater. The resort really played up the on-the-water aspects of its location. They even went so far as to try to give a hard sell to lake flies. This is hilarious. I have to read this here. So, from the guest book of the Pioneer when it originally opened, Lake Winnebago is one of several lakes in the United States known for the lake fly phenomenon. And spectators come from miles to see the millions and millions of insects swarming over the treetops and roads after they emerge from the waters of Lake Winnebago. Honey, look, the insects are swarming. Isn't it magnificent? I'm so glad we vacationed here. Oh, look, they're swarming into our food and eyes and mouth. How fantastic. Success came pretty quickly for the Pioneer. Turned out to be a perfect place for a getaway that was not too far away. Its meeting room space and dining facilities really made it popular for big community events like weddings, anniversaries. It hosted a number of conventions. For several decades was really kind of the place to hold these kind of big events, especially with the demise of the Athern in 65. The Pioneer expanded to over 194 rooms in 1970. In 1978, it was sold to Bergstrom Enterprises and continued to evolve from there. Hotels are a hard business to be in, and their lifespan is somewhere between 20 and 40 years. And at that point, you essentially need to redo your whole hotel, which can be an incredibly expensive enterprise. In May of 2002, the property was purchased by Decade Enterprises. They bought the resort with the intention of tearing down a big chunk of it, remodeling it, and creating kind of a 200 condo hotel room hybrid on the property. They started demolition, tearing down a big section of the hotel in 2004 with plans to kind of reopen for the 2005 EAA season. Things got tied up with a dispute between the Department of Natural Resources, the DNR, and more specifically, the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands and something called the Public Trust Doctrine. From the DNR's website, since the Wisconsin Territory was organized in 1787, the state's navigatable waterways have been considered public and for the use of all citizens. Article 9 of the Wisconsin Constitution declares that all navigatable waters are, quote unquote, common highways and free forever to be held in trust by the state of Wisconsin. So naturally, the Board of Commissioners and the DNR were not too thrilled with a company building essentially private condos on public land. But you say, like, public land, what are you talking about? They built a hotel there. Well, the public trust doctrine states that even if a once navigatable waterway was filled in, that still is part of the public trust. It is essentially, if it was ever a navigatable waterway, it is forever in the public trust. And so that makes Kini Island, or at least portions of it, that fall into essentially public lands. And so you got this weird mix of it's a public thing, it's a private thing. It seems very complicated. So there were a lot of negotiations in 2004 and 2005, and it seemed like there might be a solution to work out, but apparently it was really too late, and the economics started to not work, and the hotel officially closed up in October of 2005. And there it sat for about 15 years. But in 2019, there was given a raise order from the city because it had become kind of a nuisance and run down. Because when you let a building sit for nearly 2 decades completely empty, people tend to break into it, break windows, do drugs, squat, start fires, and it really became a hazard. So in 2019, what was left of the Pioneer Inn was razed. So there's not much to see out there at the moment, but let's go take a look anyway. So first stop, here I am standing on the newly constructed in the last year or so Riverwalk portion of the road, which replaced the Pioneer Drive, which was installed in the 1960s to facilitate access to the Pioneer. No need for the roadway when the hotel is gone. And here I am at the entrance to what was formerly the of course there's a train coming. Just a moment. Let's try this again. All right, here I'm at the entranceway to what was the Pioneer Inn. And as you can see from behind me and around, not much to see. Except it's a really nice day. For everyone who's going to be watching this when it first comes out in, I don't know, September or October, I'm sorry you have to be reminded how nice a day it was in May. So there's nothing much out here at the moment. It's changed hands. In fact, at the moment of this recording, the property's on for sale, up for sale again. And, hopefully someone will find something to do with it. All that remains of the Pioneer Inn is one little small structure, which I think was probably the bar, tiki bar, that was adjacent to the pool for all those years. That's still there. And of course, the marina is still there as well and is still in full use. Again, hopefully one day something will fill in this, pretty nice spot, and they'll figure a way to, once again make it a source of pride for Oshkosh. So hey, I learned something. If you like these videos, want to see more, hit like, hit subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Say hello to me in the library. Say hello to me outside in the town. Tell me what you want to hear about next. And if I made any mistakes, feel free to note them in the comments or contact me using the links in the description. And with that, I will see you later.